Alright, let's dive in. Today we are going to tackle a really common but super frustrating problem. Getting n8n and Salesforce to talk to each other. And not just talk but have a real seamless conversation. We are not just building a connection, we are building a true two-way automation bridge. First, we are going to crack open Salesforce and set up a secure entry point. Then we'll build the first lane of our bridge to push leads from n8n to Salesforce. After that, we'll build the return lane so Salesforce can send updates right back to n8n. And by the end, we'll have a fully operational live automation bridge. Okay, first things first. Before we even touch n8n, we need to pop the hood on Salesforce itself. The goal here is to create a secure doorway, telling Salesforce, get ready, we're about to connect an external app. And we are going to do that by creating something called an external client app. In the quick find box, search for external client app and click on external client app manager. In the top right, click new external client app. Enter the basic information such as name, API name and contact email. For the name, you can enter anything. The API name will auto update. Enter any email you have access to. Set the distribution state to local. Scroll down to API enablement settings and enable it. Enter a callback URL such as www.google.com. Since we are not doing an interactive authentication flow, this value is not actually used. For the OAuth scope, select these two. Enable client credentials flow under flow enablement. In the security section, uncheck the third checkbox since it is not relevant. Click Create. Once the external client app is created, go to Policies and click Edit. Open OAuth Policies and enable Client Credentials Flow. Enter the username of the org you are currently logged into and IP relaxation, save the changes. Next, go to Settings and scroll down to OAuth Settings. Click on Consumer Key and Secret. A verification code will be sent to the email associated with your org. Enter the code and verify. After verification, Salesforce will display the consumer key and consumer secret. Do not close this tab as we will need these values. Now let's hop over to our n8n workflow and build the first lane of traffic on our bridge. Our mission is simple. Take new lead information and automatically create that lead inside Salesforce. Now here's the really cool part. You might be thinking you need some fancy dedicated Salesforce node for this, right? Nope. n8n's official Salesforce node is designed for the authorization code flow. But Salesforce's client credentials flow is a relatively new feature and is considered an advanced integration. Most people still use the pop-up method because it's easier to set up for non-admins. In real production scenario, customer owning Salesforce license provides you client ID secret and tell you to just make it work. They likely expect you to use the HTTP request node method. We're going to do this entire process with just two standard HTTP request nodes. It's a super clean two-step dance. The first node asks for permission and the second one sends the data. That's it. Let's take a closer look at this first node. We're sending a post request to a specific Salesforce URL. In the body, we tell it we are using the client credentials grant type. The consumer key goes into the client ID field and the consumer secret goes into the client secret field. This node is basically knocking on Salesforce's door, showing its ID and saying, hey, can I get a temporary key to come inside? And boom, if that first node runs successfully, Salesforce shoots back a short-lived access token. Think of this as our golden ticket. It's a temporary pass that proves we have permission to actually do something, like create a new lead. Now for the fun part, the second node. We are making another post request, but this time to your specific Salesforce instance URL. And here's the magic. Right in the authorization header, we use a little n8n expression to dynamically grab that access token from our first node. It's like showing our golden ticket at the door. Then, down in the body, We just structure our new leads info in a simple JSON format. Hit execute on this and poof, a new lead instantly appears in Salesforce. No more manual data entry. Excellent. We've got data flowing one way. But what's a bridge with only one lane, right? We need traffic to flow back. So now we're going to set up Salesforce to automatically ping n8 whenever a lead gets updated. This is how we keep everything in sync, no matter where the change is made. The main tool we're going to use for this inside Salesforce is called a record triggered flow. And honestly, the best way to think about this is like a motion sensor for your data. It just sits there quietly in the background, and the second a lead record is created or updated, it wakes up and springs into action. It's like a digital assembly line. So let's configure Salesforce to automatically send data to a webhook whenever a lead is updated. This uses named credentials for security and Salesforce flows for automation. Let's get started. First, we need to tell Salesforce where your n8n server lives. Go to Setup and search for named credentials. Click the External Credentials tab and click New. Set the authentication protocol to custom. Click Save. Now, click the Named Credentials tab and click New. For the URL, enter your n8n webhook URL. We need to create a webhook in n8n which will listen to the trigger from Salesforce. This needs to be published, and we can grab the production URL and enter to named credential URL. Under external credential, select the Salesforce-to-n8n lead credential you just created. Click Save. To allow Salesforce to use this credential, we need to set up permissions. Click on the name of your external credential. In the Principals section, click New. For the parameter name, anything will do, say Salesforce n8n Principal. Set the sequence number to 1 and click Save. Now, go to Permission Sets in Setup. Create a new one. Name this permission set. We will keep license as none and save. Click External Credential Principal Access. Add your new external credential principal to the enabled list. Finally, assign this permission set to yourself, the user running the flow. Now, let's create the flow that detects, changes, and fires the webhook. Go to Setup, search for Flows, and click New Flow. Select Record Triggered Flow and click Create. For the object, choose Lead. For trigger, select A record is created or updated. For condition requirement, select Status Changed as True so that whenever lead status changes, it calls n8n webhook. For optimize the flow, select Actions and Related Records. Click Done on pop-up box. We need to name the flow and save. It will create Run Async Flow line. Click the plus icon. Select action from the menu. Select action. You will see Create HTTP callout on bottom left corner. Click it and create HTTP callout. You will see Create External Service. Name it and select the name credential we created earlier. Click Next. We need to configure invocable action here. Provide the label name, and for the method, choose Post. Under request body, click Provide Sample and paste your JSON structure containing the fields you want to send, like lead ID, email, and first name. Salesforce will automatically generate the data structure for you. Click Next. Choose Connect for Schema and Next. Now if we connect it, send test data to webhook we configured, and we can check. Here it is, our test data reached to n8n. This proves our connection is working. Click Done. Now, before the action, click the plus icon and add an assignment element. Label it Assignment 1. Set the variable values by mapping your JSON request body fields to the corresponding triggering lead fields. For example, map lead ID to triggering lead ID. Connect the elements in the correct order. Save your flow and click Activate. Now, if you go to a lead in Salesforce and change the status, it will call your webhook. You can check your n8n execution log to see the data arrive instantly. Your n8n webhook doesn't get slammed with a ton of data it doesn't need. It just gets this simple, clean, beautiful little notification. All it says is, hey, this specific lead was just updated. And that's all. By connecting all those pieces, we've built a real complete two-way data sync. Data can now flow freely from n8n to Salesforce and from Salesforce right back to n8n, all happening in the background automatically. It means your data is always up to date in real time. And honestly, this is the foundation that unlocks seriously powerful automations down the road. So that leaves me with one final question for you. Now that you know how to build this bridge, what are you going to connect next? Are you going to sync up your support tickets, your project management tools, maybe even connect your accounting software? The possibilities are pretty much endless, and now you have the skills to make it a reality. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.